Huh? Huh? Huh?
Thought I was done for back there.
What's up, guys? DK. I'm so sorry that this video was so late, but now I'm finally going to bring you the video that I've been promising you ever since I finished this LP. It's been highly requested. But first, to answer your question, guys, yes, I will indeed be doing an LP of 10-2 HD Remaster sometime this year, hopefully. If not this year, definitely next year. But first, I got to get back to all those LPs I abandoned. For now, in this video, we are going to focus on my favorite character of all time, Rikku. I love this girl. So much to the point where I drove my sorry ass all the way down to Florida just to meet Tara Strong. For those of you who are new to my channel, or for some reason you don't know this by now, Rikku is my absolute favorite character of all time. It's been this way ever since Final Fantasy X came out on PS2, and I don't think that's going to change in this lifetime. But Hatsune Miku came very, very close. A lot of people seem to think that Rikku's only purpose in this game is jailbait fan service. I would be lying to you if I said I never had dirty thoughts about her. But please, learn how to use her. She's more than just 15-year-old jailbait. And yes, people, I do indeed acknowledge the fact that she's 15 years old. At least in the first game. Of course, if you live in Japan, which is where this game was made, 15 is perfectly legal, but over here in America, it is complete taboo.
Well, just give me 5 or 6 more years.
Anyway, that's enough being a pervert. Let's get a move on. Now, one really good thing about Rikku is the simple fact that her celestial weapon is very easy to get. Now, some people don't understand how you can have Rikku and Yuna and Lulu hit for 99,000 with their physical attacks. Anybody can hit like a truck in this game once you raise their attack. However, guys, the main use of Rikku is her overdrives. Unfortunately, she has so many overdrives that I simply can't list them all. Otherwise, the video would be like, what, 5 hours long? So instead, we'll just talk about the most useful ones. Alright, let's get started. One of my personal favorite moves is Final Elixir. It heals all HP, all MP, and it heals most stats effects. Not all of them, unfortunately. It doesn't remove the breaks, it doesn't remove zombie because you're zombified and it'll kill you instead. And it doesn't remove doom. Now, unlike most healing moves, it heals all your HP. All of it, even if it's over 9,000. It also revives somebody if they're KO'd.
Come on, chin up, eyes forward.
There are many combinations for this, but I like to use a Mega Potion and a level 1 Key Sphere. Now, before you tell me that I can use a High Potion instead, yes, I know this, but here's the thing. Later on in the game, during boss fights, I like to use Auto Potion. And unfortunately, regular potions and High Potions take priority over X Potion. But for some reason, Mega Potion does not work with Auto Potion. If you're not using Auto Potion on your armor, then it'll be better for you to use High Potions instead, because all you gotta do is buy them. Mega Potions are actually not hard to get. All you gotta do is bribe the Grendels in Mount Gagazat. Level 1 Key Spheres are dropped by the Master Cores from their Mega Ruins. But it's also a rare sphere from the Earth Eater. And since I do indeed spend a lot of time fighting this guy, this is how I get them. You'll probably rarely use this overdrive, but it can be very helpful in a tight spot. I normally use it when I'm fighting Dark Aeons because I don't use ribbons on my armor. You really don't need them. 99 Dark Matters? Screw that. Unless I get a free drop, of course. Now, this overdrive is very underrated, but it is extremely useful. Ultra Know All. When you first look at this move, you may think all it does is nullify elements. That's not all it does.
Here, catch.
Think of it as a Mega Know All mixed with a cheer, aim, focus, reflex, and luck. But you're mainly doing it for the cheer. It may not seem like much at first, but later on in the game when you're fighting the super bosses, it makes a big difference. And it's also one of the very reasons why you do not need break hit point limit to beat Penance. So you're probably wondering why not just use cheer 5 times. simply because I'd rather get this done in a single turn as opposed to 5 turns. The best way to make this is by mixing 2 healing springs, which is very easy thanks to Katos. During the main course of the game, you can use the weaker version of this move, Hyper No All, which only adds cheer and focus, but that's more than enough. It's very helpful in certain fights if you're under leveled. You can make this by mixing 2 musk, 2 high power potions, or using a musk and a high power potion together. You can still musk from those floating eyeball things, and the high power potions are from those little hard shell monsters. One of Riku's most overpowered moves is Trio of 9. It's pretty useless later on in the game when you're fighting super bosses, unless you're doing a no speed grid challenge of course. However, during the main course of the game, it is extremely overpowered.
Super duper ouch ouch item coming up.
This overdrive makes everything do over 9,000! Everything. Attacks, magic, items, overdrives, you name it. Everything does 9,999 damage under Trio of 9 status. Unfortunately, you won't be able to make this until you reach the Calm Lands, unless you play a lot of Blitzball to win Dark Matters, which is a desperate move you'll only do in a no speed grid game. An easy way to make this is simply by using 2 Gamma Spirits, but those are kind of expensive and Gamma Spirit is a very important ingredient, so instead, if you want to save them, you can also mix it with a Shining Gem. You can also use Door to Tomorrow, Wings to Discovery, Underdog Secret, Winning Formula, or Pendulum, but you want to save those for customizing. Gambler's Spear can easily be stolen from the original creations, but if you're too lazy to unlock them, just catch all the Water Fiends in Mount Gagazat to unlock Shimmeryu instead. Eventually later on in the game, you'll unlock Thumon to get 99 of them, but by then, you won't be using this overdrive. You can also steal a good amount from a mega weapon, just try not to die while you're down here. There are a lot of ways to get Shining Gems, but you get 6 of them by catching every Fiend in Lake Macalana to unlock their Espada. Unfortunately, some of you may have gave them to one of your Aeons, so if you don't have any left, a fast way to get them is to bribe grenades on Mount Gagazat. Now these next 2 overdrives, I only use them in 2 battles, but don't let that fool you, they are both very good. Hotspurs and Century. Hotspurs increases overdrive rate by 50%, while Eccentric doubles it. And yes, they do stack.
Hey, I've got just the thing.
I use these overdrives in my fight with Penis. This way, every time he attacks, my overdrive fills up. This lets me keep those arms in check. You do not want those things to get a turn. However, here's a trick that many people may have never thought of. By now, everybody should know about the Downtown Barre AP trick. Unfortunately, getting triple overdrive can be a pain. This is where Rikku comes in. Simply activate both of these overdrives, then keep that character alive while the Downtown Barre KOs everybody else. It might take a little longer, but the outcome is the same, and a very nice alternative for people who don't want to waste all their gil. You can also stack it with SOS overdrive or double overdrive, which are both a lot easier to make than triple overdrive. For Hotspurs, I like to use Twin Stars and Shining Gems. I've already talked about the Shining Gem, and you get your Twin Stars by unlocking the Jumbo Flan. For Eccentric, I like to use Twin Stars and Gambler Spirit. By the time you're ready to use this overdrive, you should have lots of Gambler Spirits. Rikku also has many damaging moves. They may not be that powerful, but at the early stages of the game, they can end fights extremely fast. A good example is my favorite move in the entire game, Chaos Grenade.
That's it. Take this.
This attack does about 7,000 damage to all foes. That might not be much, but she can actually make this as soon as she joins the party. You are going to see this move a lot in my no speed grid game. But there's more to it than just that. It also hits them with almost every stats effect in the entire game, unless they're immune to it of course. For this reason, it's also useful against some late game bosses. Unfortunately, you do need some rare items to make it. But since I don't need HP or MP spheres in this game, I prefer to mix them with the grenade. Any grenade-like item will do. Once I do my no speed grid let's play, you will see exactly why this is my favorite attack in the entire game. She has a lot of moves similar to this, but there's no need to use them outside of no speed grid games. Now here's a trick you might want to keep under your sleeve. Black Hole. This thing is a demi on steroids. it reduces the monster's HP down to 1/16.
Rikku approved item coming up.
This is very useful for catching those annoying monsters with high hit points, but there are a few things you need to keep in mind. For starters, some monsters are immune to it. And also, you want to be using this with break damage limit, otherwise it won't pass 9,000 damage just like anything else. The main ingredient for this overdrive is Shadow Gem, which you can easily steal from the sandworms in Beaconell Island. Speaking of Beaconell, after you catch every fiend here, you get 99 Shadow Gems from the Monster Arena. And finally, I saved the best for last. This is probably the single most overpowered move in the entire game, behind Zamato of course. Hyper Mighty Guard.
Don't forget to thank me if this works.
This overdrive puts your entire party in Protect, Shell, Haste, Regen, and Auto Life. But you're mainly doing it for the Auto Life. And the fact that it puts your entire party in Auto Life in a single turn is what makes this move so broken. Because of this overdrive, it's very possible to beat most monsters in this game without the aid of the Sphere Grid. Yes, even some of the Dark Aeons. Except this one of course. I've tried many times to beat this thing without the Sphere Grid or Zamato, and I failed miserably. It is indeed possible and I haven't given up, but if you're this lucky, I'd rather be playing the lottery. For this overdrive, I like to use Gambler's Spirit and Healing Springs. Some of you might want to use this thing before you're strong enough to take down Kados, so in your case, use a Light Curtain, Lunar Curtain, or a Star Curtain. You can also use a Chocobo Wing, but you might want to save that for Auto Haste. Keep in mind that there are some monsters who can remove Auto Life. These include Thuban, Dark Shiva, Dark Yojimbo, Dark Cindy, and Penance's left arm. And of course, Overdrive Sin doesn't care either. So guys, that's all of Rikku's most useful overdrives. She has over 60 of them in total, but these are the ones that you're going to use the most. Now a problem that some of you are going to have is memorizing all the different combinations. Of course, this is not going to be a problem for me because I'm in love with this girl and I know just about everything about her. So this is how I organize my items. Gamma Spear plus Shiny Gem equals trio of 9. Shiny Gem plus Twin Stars equals Hotspurs. Twin Stars plus Gamma Spear equals Eccentric. Gamma Spear plus Shadow Gem equals Black Hole. Gamma Spear plus Healing Spring equals Hyper Mighty Guard. 2 Healing Springs equals Ultra No All. Level 1 Key Spear plus Mega Potion equals Final Elixir. And right here I have my grenade and my attribute spears for my Chaos Grenade. Right here I have my 3 stars for 0 MP cost. And yes guys, I know about the Sunburst overdrive move. I guess 19,000 damage is okay, but by that point there are better things you can do. And if I do indeed want to make it, all I gotta do is mix 2 of these. Sorry it took me so damn long to make this video, but lately I've had my hands full with YouTube and life issues. Like now for example, I owe the IRS for not paying my taxes. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope it was very helpful. If I missed anything that you think I should have noted, please let me know in the comments. And I sincerely hope that this video has convinced some of you that I do not like Rikku just for her looks.